So I went in for a job interview the other day, and the interviewer asked, "Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?" Well, I'd say my biggest weakness is listening. I accidentally gave my wife a glue stick instead of chapstick. She still isn't talking to me. They say penguins mate for their whole life. God knows where they get the stamina. The CEO's wife was visiting the office and talking to her husband's secretary. After a while, she commented, your grammar's not very good. You're always confusing me with I." The secretary replied, "Maybe, but your husband is worse. He's always confusing me with you." A while ago, I invited some friends over for Thanksgiving, and one of my blind friends was helping do the dishes. As he picked up the cheese grater, I heard him mutter, "That's the stupidest shit I've ever read." I looked out my living room window yesterday in horror to see a crowd gathered around a crashed motorcyclist, so I quickly put on my coat and shoes and rushed outside. I pushed through the crowd, shouting, "Let me through, let me through." I finally managed to get in front of the crowd. A woman turned to me and said, "Oh, thank goodness, are you a doctor?" I replied, "No, that's my pizza." How many politicians does it take to screw in a light bulb? 3. One to screw it in, one to screw it up, and one to screw an intern. My wife came home and said, "I've been selling my body for money today, and I made $300.50. I said, "Who the hell gave you 50 cents? She said, "All of them." A teacher asked Johnny, "What does a chicken give us?" Johnny replied, "Eggs." "Very good, Johnny." "Jessica, what does a sheep give us?" "Wool." "Very good, Jessica." "Robbie, what does a cow give us?" "Homework." I'm starting to think my family is a little racist. I brought my Asian girlfriend home for dinner, and my wife and kids were very rude to her. A woman has twin boys and has to give them up for adoption. The first one goes to a family in Egypt and is named Amal. The second one goes to a family in Spain who names him Juan. Years later, Juan sends a picture of himself to his birth mother. Excited at receiving the picture, she tells her husband, and she wishes she also had a picture of Amal. Her husband replies, "They're twins. If you've seen Juan, you've seen Amal." A burglar breaks into a house. He begins to search the home for valuables when he hears a quiet voice say, "Jesus is watching you." He dismisses it as paranoia and carries on with the crime. Then he hears the voice again, "Jesus is watching you." He knows this time it's not in his head, so he looks around the room and sees a parrot in the corner. He walks over to the parrot and it repeats one more time, "Jesus is watching you." The burglar says to the parrot, "Is your name Jesus?" "No, it's Moses," the parrot replies. The burglar laughs and says, "Who names a parrot Moses?" And the parrot says, "The same person who names a Rottweiler Jesus." Two men grow up together as friends. After college, one moves to Ohio and the other moves to Colorado. They agree to meet every 10 years in Florida to play some golf and catch up with each other. At age 35, they meet, finish their round of golf, and head for lunch. One asks, "Where do you want to go?" The other replies, "Hooters." "Why Hooters?" "Well, they have great waitresses with beautiful bosoms, tight shorts, and pretty legs." Sounds great. At age 45, they meet to play some golf again. "Where would you like to go for lunch?" "Hooters." "Again? Why?" "They have ice cold beer, large televisions, and side action on the sports." "Okay." At age 55, they meet and play yet again. "So, where do you want to go for lunch?" "Hooters." "Why?" "Well, the food's pretty decent, and there's lots of parking spots." "Okay." At age 65, they meet again. After a round of golf, one says, "Where should we go for lunch?" "Hooters." "Why?" "Wings are only half price, and the food isn't very spicy." "Good choice." At 75, they meet once again. "Where should we go for lunch?" "Hooters." "Why?" "They have lots of handicap parking spaces as well as senior discounts." "Okay." At age 85, they meet and play again. "Where should we go for lunch?" "Hooters." "Why?" "Because we've never been there before." "Okay." A guy walks down the street and sees a woman with perfect breasts. He says to her, "Hey miss, would you let me bite your breasts for $100? "Are you nuts?" she replies and keeps walking away. He turns around, runs around the block, and gets to the corner before she does. "Would you let me bite your breasts for $1,000? He asks again. "Listen, you, I'm not that kind of woman, got it?" So the guy runs around the block again and faces her. "Would you let me bite your breasts just once for $10,000? She thinks about it a while and says, $10,000? "Okay, just once, but not here. Let's go to that dark alley over there." So they go to the alley where she takes off her blouse to reveal the most perfect breasts in the world. As soon as he sees them, he grabs them and starts caressing them, fondling them, kissing, licking, burying his face in them, but not biting them. The woman finally gets annoyed and asks, "Well, are you going to bite them or not?" "Nah," he replies. "Costs too much." A dog and a cat are having an argument about who is the favorite with humans. The dog says, "Humans like us more. They even named a tooth after us, the canine. Naming an important body part after us proves that they like dogs more." The cat grins and says, "Yeah, I've got bad news for you."